Water, the icon of the Pacific Northwest. From the mountains to majestic lakes and rivers. But there will come a time when water is scarce here, just as it is in other parts of the country. At the Cascade Water Alliance, the time to plan for tomorrow's water needs is today.
The water comes out of the tap and they pay their bill and they just don't think about the infrastructure. I never did. Before I became a commissioner, you just don't think about the infrastructure that's behind that, and that somebody needs to think about the long term, 50 years, 60 years down the road. It's good that somebody did think about it 50 years ago.
With all the rainfall we have and everything, people think Seattle is such a rainy area. But we don't get as much rainfall as some other major cities across the country, but we do take it for granted. We think it's always wet, there's always water available, but the quality of the water and the amount of the water is up to how we manage it.
Cascade Water Alliance is a nonprofit corporation of 5 cities and 3 water and sewer districts formed in 1999. Its mission? To provide clean, safe, reliable water today to its almost 400,000 residential and more than 22,000 business customers, and to provide water to the generations that will follow.
I'm most proud that we as leaders can come together and look to the future. We're not looking 5 years, we're looking 25 to 50 years out. Regionally, it's very important for the viability of our community. Cascade's a vital part of keeping this area viable. My great-grandfather came to Washington before statehood. We have a long history. For that history to continue for my kids and grandkids and great-grandkids to live in the Puget Sound area, we have to have a reliable source of clean water.
Primarily, I think Cascade is come together to provide, clean water, reliable water, and for those existing customers. At Covington, we reached our capacity to supply water to our customers. And so we know what it's like to be looking around for other water sources to meet our future needs, both for our existing customers and for our future customers. By joining Cascade, it allowed us to be looking much further down the road, to be getting enough water to accommodate the growth.
The value of this partnership is collaboration and control. We have a voice in our own destiny, along with our other 7 partners in the Cascade Water Alliance. What works for Cascade Water Alliance is the respect for others' needs, the understanding of the overall problem, and a continual vision for regionalism.
As we go forward and develop our water system, we collaborate with Tacoma and Seattle Public Utilities. In the long term, what we're going to see is that vision of an integrated, viable, reliable water supply.
If one jurisdiction is, for some reason, has a water shortage, we'll be able to share water within the region and cover for each other.
Unlike other regional problems that seem to be always behind the times and catching up, I think Cascade has shown how you can be proactive and really get to a solution before it becomes a problem.
Certainly, one of the things that we know is what we don't know. And we don't know exactly what the population will be in the future. Another is climate change. So one of our planning principles has been to address both of those needs by being assured of sufficient supply through acquisition of new resources. And in this case, it's both acquiring the rights to certain existing supplies and then developing a new supply at Lake Tapps. We would provide, through the acquisition of Lake Tapps, a triple win. A win for our ratepayers to be sure that in the long term we have a sufficient supply of water for future generations. A win for the environment in terms of providing additional water resources and improving the salmon resource that are important to us as a community, as a region, very important to the tribes, both culturally and economically. And also a win for the people that live around Lake Tapps, that it continues to be a great recreational resource that they can enjoy for many years to come.
Assuring a stable future supply of high-quality water is only part of the focus of the Cascade Water Alliance.
We've also been very aggressive in encouraging people to conserve. We have programs that encourage people to put the shower heads on that are going to conserve water. Or when you buy a new washing machine, if you get an energy water efficient one, you get a rebate. There are all kinds of programs to encourage people. And I think we've seen in this region how people have responded positively to that. And water consumption is per capita down because people have listened to that message.
So our vision has been to look for supplies that can meet the needs of Cascade members and the whole region by connecting the systems in a north-south fashion and being able to move water to where it's needed rather than being limited by the isolation of the independent systems.
Cascade has taken upon itself to take a regional approach to the solution of how we preserve and protect a clean, reliable source of water well into the future, talking 2050, 60, 70.
I'm a fifth-generation Seattle area native, and so I have seen that decisions that were made by my great-grandfather and grandfather's generation that have helped provide water in this region it took a lot of foresight. We need to have that same kind of long-term vision to be sure that future generations, my children's and grandchildren's generation, have a sufficient source of supply. We need to make those decisions today to ensure the future tomorrow. I think that it's an obligation that we have to the future generations to be sure that we leave them in as good a position as we were left when we took charge.